So you're thinking about selling your home in San Luis Obispo or Santa Barbara County. You're not exactly sure how to go about completing the sale. Well, today I'm going to walk you through a master class from pre-listing all the way through all the steps of selling your home to the closing and passing keys and collecting a big net paycheck. So hang in there till the very end. I'm going to cover a lot of information. There's 5 different categories that we're going to talk about. I'm going to get after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap that bell icon so you'll be the first to know when I post new information about moving to and from the central coast of California, San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara counties. My name is Bruce Carson. I'm with Keller Williams Realty Central Coast. I get phone calls, text message, and emails from people just like you every single day looking to buy and sell property here on the Central Coast. And I absolutely love helping people out. So whether you're looking to buy or sell in 9 days or 90 days, it doesn't matter to me. Just reach out, call, text, email, whatever is best for you, and I will help you out. So like I said, today we are going through a master class on maximizing your sale price and minimizing stress while you're selling a house. Okay, so why a strategic approach is going to help pay off when you're selling your house? Well, you want to go through a lot of different steps and stages before getting your house on the market. This is going to save you time, money, and stress in the future when you actually are selling your home and you have it listed for sale on the MLS. So, number one, deciding to sell your home. It's a big decision. You have a lot going through your mind, and you might need some help and some ideas on how to even make that decision. Like, what's the best market to sell in? And what about personal timing? Well, as far as the markets here on the Central Coast, they do go up and down a little bit, and they have highs and lows throughout the year. Followed with the highs and the lows, we also have a fluctuation in buyers and demand. So sometimes it's hard to time the selling of your house with the market. So let's at the very least focus on the timing that we can control, and that's our own personal timing. So if you're thinking about selling a home, you want to make sure it's going to be a good time for you. So maybe if you have a wedding coming up or any big life events, a surgery or a grandchild coming or what have you, you probably want to time selling your house around these things so that selling the house doesn't get in the way of your personal life. So really get that calendar out, make a decision on your personal life of what's going to work best for you. Then you can talk with your realtor or talk with me, and we can figure out how to match up a market that's going to meet your personal timing. But ultimately here on the Central Coast, as long as we're not tied up with like holidays in late December, things like that, that really kind of keep people out of the buying pool, then really the majority of the year is actually a good time to sell. So even if it's traditionally a slower time of year, we still might have more buyers and lower inventory because it's a slower time of year. So if we are in a low inventory time of year, it's a great time to be selling and listing our house. So we'll figure out the timing. Next, who's going to sell this house for you? Now, I've talked extensively of looking at different ways to sell your house. I don't recommend going with the for sale by owner or even like a discount brokerage concept when selling your house. It's one of those situations where it's going to cost some money in marketing and commission to sell your house, but interview me, interview realtors until you find someone that you're happy with and you're comfortable with. If you choose to hire me, we're going to sit down. We're going to go over all of these line items that I'm going to talk about in this video, and we're going to price your house properly and get you the maximum amount of profit we can in your pocket. So it's really important to hire a realtor that you like and trust. It's that important. Now, why is that important? Because we need to really take a good hard look at your house in order to get maximum value. So we're going to take a look at some simple things like taking down some personal effects out of the house, decluttering, getting rid of extra furniture, getting rid of extra boxes and stuff all over the home, personalized photos, like photos of the kids and vacations, graduations, and everything. We want to remove those, get those off of the wall, get them out of sight for potential buyers, maybe even turn those photos around. What the goal is to get the house looking like a very nice home that's for sale, but not so much your home as the potential buyer's next home. So we want to give them a beautiful, decluttered, clean slate to look at so they can go in and they can envision this house as their own. We're also going to walk through, I would recommend, depending on the potential value of your home, the size, the age, we may want to, at this point, go ahead and hire and pay for a home inspection. Home inspector is going to come in and go through your home with a fine-tooth comb, and you're going to spend about $600 or maybe $700 on a home inspection and a pest inspection. What this does for you is a couple of things. It tells you what's good and what's bad about your house, and it gives you the opportunity as the owner to go ahead and do some repairs. Now, we're going to consult. We're going to talk about how we're going to get this maximum dollar for your house. We're probably not going to be doing upgrades in the house, like changing flooring, changing paint, because probably we're not going to satisfy every potential buyer. What we do want to do is we want to invest some time and some money into repairing broken items in the house. Simple things like a leak under the sink. Easy, cheap repair, but it looks horrible when people come in and they're shopping for a home. So let's get those things done. We want to make sure we change that 9-volt battery if the smoke alarm is beeping in the house. We should go ahead and change that smoke alarm, put a new one in. So there's some new California regulations that say we have to have a long-term battery life smoke alarm installed in the house anyway. So it's an ounce of prevention. You go spend $20 on a new alarm, you install it yourself versus waiting for someone else, a potential buyer, to say, hey, we need that new smoke alarm and we want you to hire a professional contractor, $100 an hour, to come change it out. So using your own labor within the house, friends, family that you can lean on and get some work done, go ahead and do that ahead of time. Make the house look as good as possible. And then the last thing we're going to talk about for the pre-listing preparation is curb appeal. So clean up the front of the house and the curb appeal. So plant some flowers, power wash the front of the house. Make sure that front door is looking nice and clean and inviting. And wherever the potential buyers are going to walk into your home, if the door's open for an open house or if they're walking in for a private showing, you want to make sure that when they open up that door, they're sold on the house right then and there, because they're going to make their opinion that quickly. As soon as they walk into the home, they're going to go probably into a living room, then probably straight to the kitchen. So you want to make sure all that looks good, nice and clean and decluttered. Okay, so section 2, part 2 of selling your house here on the Central Coast. This is a big one, folks. We are talking about pricing and market analysis. So, understanding a comparative market analysis is really, really important. You will probably want to hire a realtor to do this. I'm available. Do yourself a favor and interview me and allow me the opportunity to meet you and tell you what I can do for you. So, what we'll do is we're going to take a look at your home. We're going to do a market analysis. Real quick, what a market analysis is, we're going to look at what is currently selling in the neighborhood and what has sold in the neighborhood. We're going to look at a number of different things for homes that have sold, as well as what's on the market. We want to know what's the price per square foot. How do these houses compare photo-wise to the house that we're talking about selling? If the house that just sold was a brand new home, less than a year old, with a pool and different amenities, that's not a good comparison. We want to compare kind of apples to apples, to oranges. So, like, let's talk about my house. It was rebuilt in 1988 in Grover Beach, California. So I want to look at homes that have sold in Grover Beach, similar age, similar size, if I can find it, and then also with similar upgrades that my house has experienced, like flooring and paint and LED lights. And what are we comparing? We want to make sure we're comparing apples to apples, because the reason why we're going to do this comparative market analysis is so we can come up with a price on the house. Pricing the house is super, super important, because we really don't want to overprice the house. It's not as bad if we underprice the house, but we really don't want to overprice the house. So let's talk about that. So if we underprice the house, let's just use my house again, for example. We're going to call it 123 Main Street in Grover Beach, California. 123 Main Street is a 2,000 square foot home, 4-bedroom, 4-bath, we'll say. And we've determined that it's going to be valued right about $900,000 is going to be a good sale price for the home. Great, perfect. Then let's go with that $900,000. We might even list it a little bit lower than the established value. The reason why we would go a little bit lower would be to attract more buyers, have more eyes come in and look at the house, and then have more written offers on the house, because we priced it aggressively. And hopefully after just a short period of time with that aggressive pricing, then we're going to have a whole bunch of written offers that we can review. We can do a seller multiple counter offer and then ask people to drive the price up, up, up. That's the advantage of underpricing. Now, if we overprice, same house, $900,000, and we put it on the market for $1.1 million, because we're a little greedy, we want that big net check at the end of the day, and we personally feel that that's the value of the house. Well, we're asking too much. So what can happen there is people don't go and see the house for a number of reasons. One, at $1.1 million, we're not attracting and we're not popping up on the searches that people have going through their realtors and Zillow and homes and .com and all those different places. Well, if they're looking for something under $1 million, well, we're not going to pop up on those searches. So people are not going to see us on the internet. People are also going to be aware that we're overpriced, so they're not going to come to our open house. They're not going to call their buyer's agent and say, hey, can you walk me through this home? I want to go see it. It's a $1.1 million house at 123 Main Street in Grover Beach. It doesn't work that way. People are going to avoid the house. They're going to miss it altogether. And then what we really don't want to happen, but is most likely going to happen, is then we have lots of days on market. After we sit on the market for a long time, then that looks bad. It looks bad for buyers to look and see house has been on the market for 70 days or 170 days. What's wrong? It's probably overpriced or something's wrong with the house. So people start thinking bad things about 123 Main Street there. Also, if we, after that amount of time, decide, well, maybe we did ask a little bit too much money. Let's reduce the price and see if we can get some more buyers into the house. Well, that looks bad too. Price reduction when you're selling, it does put you on the top of a list. So you'll be, when realtors log into the MLS in the morning, they see what's coming soon, new listings, what has sold, and also price changes. So even a little price change is going to at least put us on that price change list and increase some eye traffic on the house. But it's really not the right way to attract people to your home. So pricing, we want to get it a little bit under that market value, and let's see what the market is willing to pay. Now, I'm going to close this chapter on that it's not what you think your house is worth. It's not what I think your house is worth. The value of any home in the market is what the buyers are willing to pay. And that's what we have to figure out. It's a bit of a balancing act. So section 3 of how to sell your home here on the Central Coast. Marketing your home effectively. So again, this is part of having a realtor. The realtor is hopefully going to be savvy enough, and you've negotiated some commission for your realtor, and your realtor is going to have enough money and financial backing to hire and pay for a professional photographer, videographer, drone pilot, whatever it takes to present your home properly. If your realtor, if you have someone coming in and saying, I'll sell your house and I'm only going to take 2.5% or 3% commission on the sale of your home. And by the way, I need you to write a check to this photographer and hire this drone guy and hire a videographer. No. That's your realtor's responsibility to hire and pay for those people. That's part of marketing the home. So we're going to have the house nice and clean. We have our curb appeal. The house is decluttered and hopefully professionally cleaned. Then at the right time of day, on the right day too. And we don't want to take photos on a rainy day. We certainly don't want to be flying drones on a rainy day to try to get aerial shots of your home. So we want to choose the right day. We want to go out at dusk when the sun's coming down and the clouds are all lit up in the background of the home. We have the opportunity to turn those outside lights on and light the house up and just really present it well. Your photographer will be in charge of that. And they also will use special lenses, wide angle lenses that make the interior of the house look bigger. And they're going to also edit with professional editing software the photos to make your house look best in the right light. They're going to lighten up those photos and just make the place look so inviting and big and beautiful. So that's super, super important. You want to hear that. When your realtor is putting your home on the MLS, they're going to input information, including a description of your home. Now, everyone else that's on the internet, the other websites like Zillow and Realtor.com and Homes.com and all those other guys, they're going to feed off of the MLS. So what your realtor writes and how they describe your home, that's going to go all over the internet. So it's really important that a good, compelling listing description is completed. Now, these things are getting a little bit easier with the help of artificial intelligence. We'll talk about that later, but I use AI a lot in my job. And it is important to embrace that and to work with it so we can market properly. So we talked about the online exposure. So once the home is on the MLS, it takes a couple of days to spider out to those other social media platforms and the other websites that are trying to sell your home. Now, something else that's really important is open houses and private showings. Private showings are really pretty easy. We use a system called Showing Time, and if a realtor wants to show their client your home, they can just click a button and schedule a time with you. But open houses are really important as well. Now, here's a trick about the open houses, is that we don't want to decide on a Friday that we're going to have an open house on Saturday. And then on Friday, we're going to input our open house onto the MLS. Not a good idea. We want to get that open house. We want to make a decision usually for a weekend open house. Here in my office and a lot of realtors, they're talking about the weekends, the upcoming weekends open houses on Monday. So we start talking about it on Monday. We make a decision on Monday or Tuesday so that our transaction coordinator or the realtor or whomever, someone from the team, can go onto the MLS, enter the information for the time of the open house, any giveaways, any drawings, anything else that makes the open house appealing. We want to get that posted on the MLS really no later than Tuesday evening, because then the spider magic happens. And the information, open house, is on the MLS, and all of the other websites will pick up on it. But it takes time. Just because I enter something on a Tuesday, it doesn't mean that the other websites are going to pick it up and have it on their site on Tuesday. It's probably going to be Wednesday or Thursday, or who knows how long it's going to take. There's also some websites that are holding back information. They're waiting for specific postings to happen through the realtors and through the MLS. So we need to make that decision early in the week, post it, and get as many people as we can to flood through those open houses. The more eyes we get on a house, the more offers we should potentially see. And then last thing about open houses and showings is try to accommodate every single request. It's not easy. Selling your house is not easy. And it is, it gets in the way of things, and you have to leave the house, you have to clean up the house, you have to move the pets, do whatever you do to get your house lit up and looking good. But please, please, please do everyone a favor, especially you, the seller. Do yourself a favor. Make sure everyone that wants to see the house has the opportunity to see it on their time frame. So that means you're going to have to show on the weekends. You're going to have to show after hours. Some people work until 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, so they can't come and see your house until 6:30 or 7. Yes, that's a pain, especially if you have kids and homework and dinner and all this going on. Sorry, you need to accommodate the showings every single time. Okay, Section 4, selling a house here on the Central Coast, receiving and negotiating offers. So again, the ideal situation that I've been talking about throughout this video is we're going to have multiple offers on our house because we've done everything right. We've listened to our realtor. We've priced the house a smidge under the market price. We've announced our huge open house weekend. We've accommodated every single realtor that wants to bring in a buyer, and lots of eyes, lots of excitement. And now the offers come rolling in. Now, we want to keep in mind that even though people and realtors and potential buyers, they can talk all they want about writing an offer, but there's no such thing as a verbal agreement in California real estate. You have to have paperwork. You have to go through escrow. So we literally, as realtors, we say that people are threatening to write an offer, or they're talking about writing an offer, but it's not an offer until it's written on California Association Realtor paperwork, a residential purchase agreement, and it's signed and fully executed by all of the parties involved. So that means the realtor has to sign it, all the buyers have to sign it. Everyone has to be on board when they're writing an offer. Now, we're going to hope that the buyers out there did their job. They interviewed the right realtor. I represent buyers as well. I encourage you to interview me. If nothing else, interview me and give me the opportunity to talk to you. And give yourself the opportunity to meet me, because I might be a perfect match or I might not. So hopefully, as a buyer, you have selected the right realtor, and that right realtor is going to do the right thing instead of just writing up an offer, say, here you go, sign it, and then emailing it, or having a transaction coordinator email it, or someone from the office, whatever, and then just see if that offer sticks. No, you don't want to do that. So you want the realtor that's going to call the listing agent and say, what is important to your sellers outside of price? We know the price is important. Every single seller wants to net as much as possible at the end of the transaction. It's human nature. We all want as much money as possible. But there are some other things that are important. And your buyer's agent should call that listing agent and ask these questions. What is important to the seller? Oh, well, the seller would like to have short contingency periods, or the seller would like to have a long escrow period or a short escrow period. Maybe we want a 21-day escrow period, but the seller wants to stay in the house free of charge for 29 days after we close escrow so they can go and identify and purchase their next home. Ask the question before you write the offer, because we're looking for multiple offers, because we've done everything according to Bruce's video that we're watching right now. We're doing all the right things, and now offers are coming in. So we're going to get a number of different offers. It's not unusual to see 5, 10, 20 offers. We never know. It all depends on how it's marketed and how it's priced. But the listing agent and the seller, you the seller, have the opportunity to go through all of these offers. We can accept an offer. We can do a single counter offer, or we could do a multiple counter offer. Now, for me, the goal would be that multiple counter offer, meaning we priced 123 Main Street in Grover Beach, that 4-bedroom, 4-bath house. We priced it at $890,000 because we figured the value was about $9 million. So now we have a whole bunch of offers. They're hovering around $890,000. Some are a little over, some are a little under, a variety of different terms. So we're going to go over all those offers with you, the seller, and then we're going to make a decision on what we're going to do. Again, we can accept an offer. We can do a single counter offer. Say, hey, wow, great offer. You're really close. We really appreciate it, but we wanted to stay for those 29 days, so we need to change that. Or we need to change another term in the offer. Or we can do multiple counter offers, meaning we are responding to 2 or more offers. And generally those read like, well, we want to clean up some terms, meaning like time, where we're going to have escrow, can the seller stay in possession of the house. But usually the line item number 1 on the seller multiple counter offers, and it's a different form. So anyone that's receiving that seller multiple counter offer knows that they are not the only dog in the fight. They're not the only people in this game. There is competition, and we often see line item number 1 or one of the line items there in the seller multiple counter offer. Bring your highest and best offer. Great. So we're going to raise the price of our house by doing that seller multiple counter offer and just seeing what the market is really willing to pay for our home. So that gets a little bit challenging going back and forth and going over all these offers. Again, that's why you want to interview and hire a realtor that you trust. Step number 5. So we're going from under contract to closing the deal. We're almost there. But in California real estate, it is completely normal to have an escrow period to be written up as 45 days or less. Sometimes we see 30 or less. Sometimes it's 21 or less. It's pretty normal to have a 45-day escrow somewhere around that time period. So that's a long time to be negotiating and dealing with some potential buyers of our home. So during this stage, when we're in escrow, some things are going to happen. There's an inspection period. The buyers have 3 17-day contingency periods, actually 4 more now, because they included insurance. But there's due diligence. It's where they're going to bring in some contractors, a home inspector, a pest inspector, to look at the house and tell them what's good and bad about the house. Based on that, they might want to bring in some specialists for windows, to put in a hot tub, to look at the roof, to inspect a chimney, whatever. So that whole period, they have 17 days to do all of that. They also have 17 days for an appraisal, 17 days for loan contingency, for insurance, etc. So that's going to take some time. Now, the inspection period gets kind of stressful for sellers. This is why at the beginning of this video, in the beginning of the decision of you deciding if you're going to sell your house or not, this is why I said you should hire and pay for a home inspector to come and inspect your home, so you can go through that inspection report and you can fix things along the way. Because now the buyer, you're in contract with that buyer, the buyer's going to do the same thing. They're going to hire a home inspector, they're going to hire a pest inspector. People are going to come and look at your house and tell you everything that's wrong with the house, and you're going to expect something that's called a request for repair from the buyer. This is, again, why. Do the work ahead of time. It's going to decrease the amount of items that a potential buyer can ask you to repair, so there's not going to be any surprises. So, but just be aware, people are going to come and inspect, and there's a good chance you're going to get a request for repair. Then that's more negotiating. Do we do that? Do we give a credit because we don't want to do the work? It's all up to yours truly, your realtor. So we're going to be dealing with those appraisers, with the loan officers, and the goal is to get through all of those contingencies and have the contingencies released, and then ultimately close on the house. So we're going to work with local escrow companies. It doesn't have to be local. You want you to keep in mind that you don't have to be here for this whole process. Even if you're out of country, out of town, out of state, leave your realtor up to it. I'll handle everything for you. And between me and escrow, we'll have DocuSign, and we have mobile notaries that will come to you for signatures. We'll just take care of everything. It's really actually kind of the easiest way to sell a house is to hire someone that you trust, then go on a nice long vacation, or go to your other house, or go stay at sister's house or mom's house or what have you, and just let us handle it, the whole transaction for you. It doesn't always happen, but it's a thought. Anyway, so we're moving through. We go through the due diligence. We get a request for repair, maybe do some repairs, and then finally we're at the tail end of our escrow. Now, at the very end of the escrow, the buyer is going to do a final walkthrough, or it's called a verification of property. It usually happens a couple days before we close. That verification of property is really intended to confirm that the property looks about the same as the first time we saw it, or better, and that any negotiated repairs have been completed. So we can sign off on that and say, yeah, we're satisfied, we're cool. Once that's signed off, escrow is done, then we just have to call the moving companies, close escrow, transfer utilities, and we're good to go. So that is my comprehensive how to sell a house in San Luis Obispo or Santa Barbara County. My name is Bruce Carson with Keller Williams Realty Central Coast. I'm here to help if you're looking to buy, sell, invest, rent, or just learn about real estate. Call, text, or email me anytime.